Beach in Rio and speak to our reporter Orla Shenoui, being buffeted a little bit earlier on by the wind, which is having an impact today. I'm sure you're alongside someone who's a bit battered and bruised.
Yes, I am indeed, next to a bruised and battered athlete, none other than Geraint Thomas. Geraint, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us. You were doing so well yesterday, weren't you? How do you feel today?
Yeah, I feel a bit battered and bruised, but I've certainly had worse. But it's more the mental thing, really, of just being disappointed, and you know, because after 6 hours of racing, everything going to plan, and you know, the boys and the team, we just rode, you know, super well, just how we wanted, how we spoke about the night before, and yeah, it all just sort of went to pot. We're like 10k to go, very last corner of the descent, and such a technical descent, and yeah, just one little mistake, it can cause a crash. And as you could see, there's hundreds of crashes down there, and which is rare in the pro peloton anyway. So you know, I think obviously the fatigue and the heat and you know the 6 hours all sort of played a part in it.
When you were coming up to that 10 kilometres, you came around the corner, you saw race favourite Vincenzo Nibali on the floor. There was Rafa Majka up the road, and just you and one other rider. You must have thought what gold was within your sights. Yeah,
for sure. I thought it was all to play for. Even with Nibali, like 15 seconds up the road, it was still like, oh, we can get him back. And then when he's on the floor, it's like, well, that's one less guy to worry about. And yeah, I thought, because throughout the day I didn't feel great. You know, you never really do after riding the Tour de France. You always feel a bit sort of average, but you kind of keep going. You know, got that sort of diesel engine, and yeah, the last climb I felt better, and I was like, oh, you know, this is on now, and you start to get that adrenaline and really, you know, up for it, and yeah, like I say, just a slight mistake going into the last corner was a bit too fast, and the road's really quite uneven, so I skidded a bit, and the bike, the back wheel just bounced out, and that was it. It went from underneath me, landed on my hip, and my glute, and slid into the gutter, and yeah, that's where it sort of ended.
When you woke up this morning and remembered that the Olympic road race was over, there was no medal in your hotel room, how did you feel?
Pretty devastated, really. It kind of is sinking in more now than yesterday. You know, just had a great opportunity there to win the race, and yeah, like I say, it just that one mistake, but as they say, that's sport, and that's bike racing, and yeah, it's just a massive shame. But I guess I'm fortunate to have not broken anything. It's one positive to take from it, but yeah, it's still pretty hard to take at the moment, but as soon as I get another race under my belt, it'll soon be, well, not as raw anyway.
And that other race might come very soon indeed. There is a chance you could be competing in the time trial. Tell us about that.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Obviously, we got one spot at the moment, which Chris Froome's riding in, and there's potentially we could get another. You know, we should have had two anyway, but we kind of messed up our qualification for it, really. I think we took it for granted that we would do it, and yeah, we ended up with one, but due to all the crashes yesterday, there's quite a few teams that won't field two riders, so potentially, you know, the UCI might fill up those spots with the next sort of nations, so fingers crossed. I don't know what they're going to do, but you never know.
And today, Geraint, we have the women's road race. Lizzie Armitstead leading the charge for Team GB. She's been through a tough old time of it. Have you seen her? What kind of form is she in?
Yeah, I saw her the night before our race at dinner, and yeah, she seemed like she was just wanted to just get out there and race a bike, and you know, use all that hurt, I guess, and anger and on the bike, and try and win the race. And you know, it's obviously going to have been a real hard time for her, and not ideal prep at all. You know, a lot has been said about her and things which for sure will hurt, but you know, I think once she gets racing, you get that racing instinct, and everything else is forgotten, and hopefully she can produce the goods.
And road racing is a sport where mind games play such a big part. You've got to be psychologically strong. How important will it be for her to have her race head, her game head on today?
Oh yeah, it'll be crucial. You know, like you say, well, our race is over 6 hours. the women is, I'm not sure, like maybe up to 4 hours or something. So, you know, your minds can play a lot of tricks on you, and especially this course, you know, so much can happen, as we saw yesterday, and that descent is super technical. But I think that'll play into Lizzie's favour. She can handle her bike well, and you know, with the cobbles and it's super windy as well. I rode down here from the village just now, and you know, it's okay here, but you know, once you get around the corner, there's barriers being blown over and everything. So certainly going to be an eventful race for them. And even the descent, it looks a bit cloudy up there. It could be a bit damp. So I'm glad we raced in the dry yesterday, because if it was damp, it would have been even more carnage. So, but yeah, I think it'll all play to her strengths really, and she's got two good, strong girls to back her up as well. So fingers crossed they'll be able to produce the goods.
So what do you think her chances will be then today? I know you're concentrating on your own racing. I don't know how much attention you pay to women's road racing, but do you think she's in with a chance of gold here?
Yeah, most definitely. Just seeing the results from this year, you know, she's been in great form, and hopefully she can continue that. And as I said, you know, I think the technicality of the course will certainly help her, and she's a racer as well. You know, she can you know, adapt well, and you know, in one-day racing, that's the biggest thing, is being able to sort of change your plan, you know, in a blink of a second. And so yeah, fingers crossed she'll come back with a gold.
And just finally, Geraint, we've mentioned the time trial. We know one spot has been taken. Chris Froome will be competing in the time trial. What do you think his chances will be after possibly disappointment yesterday?
Yeah, I think he'll have a great chance. I think the time trial suits him so much better than the road races. It's purely physical. Obviously, technically, you got to ride it well, which I think he's sort of mastered that. You know, he's got some great kit and some great support around him, and yeah, he's in good shape as well. Obviously, yesterday didn't go as he would have wanted, maybe, but you know, one-day racing isn't necessarily his strongest point anyway. You know, he's good at the stage races and things. So, but I think the time trial, for sure, he's got a great chance of winning, and it's obviously a competitive field, but you know, why not?
Geraint Thomas, thank you very much indeed. Best of luck with that time trial spot.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
So yeah, Lizzie Armitstead will be taking to the road race here today. We know from Geraint Thomas it's a tough course out there. It's a windy day. It's not going to be easy. Lizzie Armitstead won the first medal of Team GB back in London. If she's to do that again today, she will have to try to put all external circumstances to one side and simply concentrate on the racing. If she does that, she's off to a good start.